Chapter 67. Faith. Carisor. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Dear me, this is very unexpected. I wrote you a long while ago about doubt, and now I suppose the seed fell in fertile ground. My chaste remarks have prompted a new question, arising out of the previous answer, sir. You point out quite correctly that the doubt of which I wrote in passages of such burning eloquence is, after all, what used to be called philosophic doubt. And by philosophic, people apparently meant something rather like Pickwickians, not the genuine McCoy, determining action, but, well, rather like scoring points in an intellectual game. Now then, what is faith? There are two kinds, and they are almost exact opposite. N.B. The word is allied to bide. There's some idea of endurance or perhaps repose in it. Then the third kind, which is moral, not intellectual, as in good faith, bona fide, yours faithfully. And this is probably the hallmarked sense, for it implies just that endurance which goes with bide, and is not dependent in any way upon reason or conviction. This, then, I may dismiss as impertinent to the question in your letter, and stick to the other two. Faith in its meaning number one was perfectly well defined by the schoolboy, the faculty of believing that which we know to be untrue. It is at least the acceptance of any statement as true without criticism, examination, verification, or any other method of test. Faith of this sort is evidently the main symptom of the moron, the half-wit, the village idiot. It is this kind of faith upon the possession and exercise of which religious persons always insist as the first condition of salvation. Here is my own lamentable foresight on the subject. The convert, 100 years hence. There met one eve in a sylvan glade a horrible man and a beautiful maid. Where are you going, so meek and holy? I'm going to the temple to worship Crowley. Crowley is God, then? How did you know? Why, it's Captain Fuller that told us so. And how do you know that Fuller was right? I'm afraid you're a wicked man. Good night. While this sort of thing is styled success, I shall not count failure bitterness. Sometimes, note well, they are even frank about it, and say plainly that there would be no merit in it if there were any reasonable basis for it. This position is at the worst both honest and intelligible. The only trouble is that there is no possible means of deciding which of the two conflicting statements to accept. In faith of this kind, there are, of course, in practice, delicately shaded degrees. These depend mostly upon the authority of the speaker and your relations with and opinion of him. In practice, moreover, faith is usually tinged, should I say clouded, by questions of probability. I see no need to weary you with examples of varying degrees. It is enough to dismiss the subject with the remark that faith is not true faith if any considerations of any kind sully its virgin nullity. To prop faith is to destroy it. I am reminded of Mr. Harry Price's young lady of Brocken fame, who was so timorously careful of her virginity that she never felt it safe unless she had a man in bed with her. What is the other kind of faith? Like its hostile twin, it must have no truck with reason, at least no conscious truck, or it ceases to possess a moral meaning. It is that confidence in oneself which assures one that the long shot at the tiger will fly true to the mark, that the tricky putt will go down, that the man one could never beat before will go down this time. Also is the contrary, The moral certainty that something will go wrong, even with the easiest problems, with 100 to 1 in one's favor. I think the official answer is that one's certainty is in reality based upon subconscious calculation, so that faith has nothing whatever to do with it. If there is any answer to this, I don't know it. After all, that is neither here nor there. There is but one material issue: how to acquire that kind of faith. Suppose we hunt it up in that precious book of lies. Any luck? Steeped horsehair. Mind is a disease of semen. All that a man is or may be is hidden therein. Bodily functions are parts of the machine, silent unless in disease. The mind, never at ease, creaketh, I. This I persisteth not, posteth not through generations, changeth momently, finally is dead. Therefore is man only himself when lost to himself in the charioting. Nothing in that to contradict the official view, is there? Nothing in biology either. Or in Blake, quote, if the sun and moon should doubt, they'd immediately go out, end quote. Or in that other chapter of the Book of Lies, the mountaineer. Consciousness is a symptom of disease. All that moves well moves without will. All skillfulness, all strain, all intention is contrary to ease. Practice 1,000 times, and it becomes difficult. 1,000, it becomes easy. 1,000 times 1,000, and it is no longer thou that doeth it, but it that doeth itself through thee. Not until then is that which is done well done. Thus spoke Frater Perdurabo, as he leapt from one rock to rock of the moraine without ever casting his eyes upon the ground. Or in the Book of the Law. You know the passage well enough. Conclusion. This discussion has forever abolished the use of the word faith to imply conscious belief of any sort. At least, if there should ever be an element of awareness, it is of the nature of a sudden leap into daylight of the quintessence of a mass of subconsciously selected and ordered experience. Then what, if you please, did Paul mean when he wrote, quote, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen, unquote. Oh, spot the lady. Love is the law. Love under will. Yours truly,